Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
how's it going, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And it is our time of the month. Budget meeting time, that is. So today we are going to be looking at the collected editions that are coming out in August of 2025. So it is time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. Join me. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before going any further, a big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without you all. And as a reminder, we do put the full written documentation on our Patreon. Usually comes out on Sunday whenever I go over my top 10 books coming out this month, or essential buys, must reads. So yeah, that book comes out, or that video comes out on Sunday. Book, Uncanny Omar already not talking pretty one day. As always, a small reminder that these books are subject to change when they come out, so there might be some delays. We saw that with the Jimmy Olsen book that was supposed to come out last month, and now it's been pushed back to this month. So keep that in mind. And always, something else, some people get books early. Like, you may already have a book that's in here. Depends on who the distributor is, or distributor. Again, Uncanny Omar talk pretty one day. Who the distributor is, and of course your comic book store, wherever you end up getting your books. Some people don't have a problem with selling books before actual street date, and some people have to have them be sold on actual street date. So that all depends on that. Smash that like button, please. That goes a long way for us here on the channel. Small thing you can do. Big shout out to my buddy, my partner in crime, Dom of X, for helping me with this video. All right, without further ado, we're looking at 4 weeks. Let's go ahead and start with the week of August 5th or 6th, depending on where you go your books. We are looking at the Blood Hunt hardcover. This is the red band version, collecting the free comic book day, Blood Hunt and X-Men, and then red band 1 through 5. I've already done an overview of this. If you're interested in checking this out, the book has a total of 160 pages, and it retails for $34.99. It does have some additional pages that were not in the trade paperback, as well as the bloodier, more gorier things that were not available in the trade paperback. And also that week is the Civil War, the Marvel Premiere Collection. So this is collecting Civil War 1 through 7, the big event that rocked Marvel Comics in the early aughts. 264 pages, $14.99. I'd like to remind everybody that these are digest size. Not sure why I do this, because that's probably not accurate. But you get the idea, they're smaller. Fall of the House of X, Rise of the Powers of X Omnibus. All 3 covers will be available the same day, collecting Fall of the House of X 1 through 5, Rise of the Powers of X 1 through 5, X-Men 34 through 30, 30 through 34, Resurrection of Magneto 1 through 4, Dead X-Men 1 through 4, X-Men Forever 1 through 4, Invincible Iron Man 13 through 20, Avengers 12 and 13, Miss Marvel Mutant Menace 1 through 4, Cable, the 2024 series 1 through 4, and then material from X-Men 35, which is the grand finale. And that material is what wraps up Krakoa. The other part is what kicks off the From the Ashes era. Now, I've already done an overview of this book. This one is 1,256 pages, and it retails for $125. And I've talked about the mapping. This is mapped, in case you didn't watch that video, by title, with the exception of the Fall of House of X and Rise of Powers of X. Those intertwine. But X-Men isn't interwoven in there, neither is X-Men Forever. Dead X-Men also is not. So those are separated by the actual series. So you'll have Dead X-Men 1 through 4. You'll have X-Men Forever 1 through 4. Invincible Iron Man 13 through 20. So that is something to keep in mind in case you're wondering what the reading order is like. Next up is Fantastic Four Epic Collection, The Possession of Franklin Richards, collecting Fantastic Four 215 through 231. And annuals 14 through 16. We are looking at the Doug Moench, Bill Sienkiewicz, but also, to a lot of people, the John Byrne era with Herbie. That's right. This is where John Byrne makes his writer and artist debut. And the book has 472 pages and retails for $54.99. Marvel Zombies Dawn of Decay is coming out. This is collecting Marvel Zombies Dawn of Decay 1 through 4. And this miniseries is 112 pages and retailing for $15.99. This was not collected in either Omni, so this is a new story. Old Man Hawkeye, the complete collection, is coming back to print. That's really interesting because really thought they were just going to rebrand these as modern era Epic collections, but okay. Collecting issues 1 through 12 of this series, $34.99, 264 pages. Ethan Sachs, but this also has a lot of great artwork by Marco Cacchetto. Next up is Original Sin, getting a new printing. This is the trade paperback collecting the Marvel Point 1, the Watcher story, the Original Sin 0 through 8. And the book has 240 pages and retailing for $34.99. ROM, Epic Collection, the Original Marvel Years, Volume 2, continuing ROM in Epic format, collecting ROM 21 through 33, ROM Annual Number 1, and Power Man and Iron Fist 73. One thing to note about these, what I'm saying that it's going to collect, the information is coming from 3 different websites. It used to be just one easy stop, but nowadays it's Lunar, it's PRH, it's Still Diamond, Simon & Schuster. It's just, it's a bit to gather the information and try to get the most accurate content. And still to this day, we have issues mainly with DC Comics as to what's really collected in these. And that's why I do overview videos when those come out. So that's something to keep in mind in case you're watching this and like, wait a second, that's contradictory as to what this website or Amazon is showing. Especially if it's a DC book, Amazon shows the content way off sometimes. Star Wars Visions, the Treasury Edition, is coming out. And this has stuff in here by Peach Momoko and Takashi Okazaki. And man, if you haven't seen this stuff, the animated shorts that appeared on Disney plus the stuff that was made in Japan. Chef's kiss. It was so cool. This one here is 120 pages and retails for $29.99. Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone Volume 2, The Dark Aerie, is coming out. Collecting Uncanny X-Men 9 through 16. The book has 176 pages and retails for $19.99. From the world of DC Comics, we're getting Absolute Batman Volume 1, The Zoo. So Absolute Batman is finally coming out. This is $24.99, and it has 192 pages. And this is a prime example of a book that we don't know exactly the content if you're looking at Amazon, for example. Like, Amazon is showing that it doesn't have the content yet as of this video. When you're probably ordering the book from Amazon, you're going to be like, oh, here's the content. But what this really collects is issues 1 through 6 of the ongoing series. The new hit ongoing series at that, by the way, because it is huge. Next up is the Batman Superman World's Finest, Volume 7, Total Eclipso. It is now Adrian Gutierrez, and Gutierrez is joining Mark Waid on his journey through these particular comics right here. So this is collecting Batman World's Finest 31 through 34, Green Lantern, Green Arrow World's Finest Special Number 1. Batman Nightfall Omnibus Volume 3, Night's End, is coming out, wrapping up this era of Batman in Omni format, collecting Batman 509 and 510, 512 through 515, Batman Shadow of the Bat 29 through 30, 30 and all the way to 35, Detective Comics 676 to 677, 679 to 682, and Robin 8 through 9, 11 through 14, Catwoman 12 through 13, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight 62 and 63. Yes, by now Batman Legends of the Dark Knight had been it used to be like a flashback type of series, but by the time the crossovers started, it became like the new ongoing series, like another Bat title, if you will. Next up on this on the content list is Batman No, I'm sorry. We already talked about Batman. Showcase 9410, Nightwing, Alfred's Return #1, and Batman Vengeance of Bane #2. So not only does it go through Night's End, but this also collects the Prodigal storyline, which to me is like one of the best, not just Batman stories, but Nightwing stories. Now, if you're wondering, wait a second, what about the stuff that's missing through here? I didn't talk about that. So the stuff like Batman 511 and Shadow the Bat 31 and Detective Comics 678, that's still, all of it is part of 0 Hour. So it's part of those issues where a character from the past shows up, like the old second Robin, Jason Todd, shows up to team up with the new Robin, Tim Drake. Batgirl shows up in issue 511 of Batman, I think. So that's why those are not collected in here. DC's finest, Justice League of America, The Return. We are looking at Justice League Detroit here. Collecting Justice League of America 241 to 261, Infinity Incorporated #19, Justice League of America Annual #3. This book has 584 pages and retails for $39.99. DC, The New Frontier, the DC Compact Comics Edition. Your way to get one of the greatest freaking stories ever. $9.99, 416 pages. If you have not read Darwin Cook's masterpiece, it is worth checking out, especially at that price. Green Lantern Volume 4, Civil Corps, and that is by Jeremy Adams, and Sarmanico is the artist on the book, collecting Green Lantern 16 through 18, Green Lantern Civil Corps Special #1, and then the Fractured Spectrum Special #1. The book has a total of 144 pages and retails for $19.99. Justice League Unlimited Volume 1, Into the Inferno. So now we are looking at the Justice League Unlimited issues 1 through 6 by Mark Waid and also Dan Mora with Jeff Loeb in here. And this is a hardcover. And there is a softcover. The hardcover is $24.99. The softcover with the exact same content is $17.99. 160 pages. Red Hood Outlaws Volume 4, continuing the Webtoon comics, 208 pages, $14.99, and it's episodes 34 through 46. And Supergirl Cosmic Adventures in the 8th grade. So this is a YA original graphic novel, and this is a reprint. This is the 2025 edition. Superman Action Comics by Dan Jurgens Omnibus Volume 1. That's right, Volume 1. This is where you're going to find that Justice League issue #52. Action Comics, that's from the new 52, by the way. Action Comics 957 to 976, Superman, Lois, and Clark 1 through 8. Those stories are amazing. I love them. Superman 18 through 19, and Convergence Superman 1 and 2, Superman Rebirth #1, and then DC Universe Rebirth #1. This book has a total of 848 pages and retails for $125. Swamp Thing by Rick Veitch, Book 2, Synchronicity is coming out. This is collecting Swamp Thing 74 to 79, Swamp Thing Annual 4, Hellblazer 6 through 12, Swamp Thing Annual 4, and material from Who's Who, Update 1988 3 through 4. The book has 408 pages, $29.99, and a lot of us are curious what the content of the next Book 3 is going to be. From the folks over at Image Comics, we are getting Feral Volume 3. You know, I've yet to read any of these. Tony Fleece and Trish Forstner. I'm a big fan of Stray Dogs, and this is collecting Feral 11 through 15. So let me know in the comments down below if you have been reading them. From Dark Horse Comics, we're getting the Stone Shore Register coming out that week by G. Willow Wilson and M.K. Perker. It's the same team that worked on Air. This book has 128 pages and $24.99. It is a trade paperback. Ralph and Other Fantasies, or Rolf and Other Fantasy Stories. This is another Richard Corbin collection. And believe it or not, there's an introduction here from Hayao Miyazaki. Rolf, the Beast of Wolfshan, Spirit of the Beast, and the story of Oteg, and backup material, what's collected in here, 128 pages, $39.99. From the world of IDW, we are getting The Land of Unfinished Dreams by Marco Ventura. This is a hardcover, 160 pages, $19.99. And we're getting The Beauty of Horror, Ghouliana, Sanctuary for Monsters, a gorgeous storybook to color. And this is $16.99 in a trade paperback. My Little Pony, Lost Stories of Equestria is coming out. And this is $21.99. And has 136 pages. From the world of Boom Studios, House of Slaughter Book 1 Deluxe Edition is coming out that very same week. And it is coming out both as a deluxe edition and also a slipcase edition. The slipcase edition is $69.99. The deluxe edition is $49.99. They both collect the exact same material, though. So House of Slaughter 1 through 5, 11 through 15, and 21 through 25. It's interesting how they're mapping these and the Something is Killing the Children deluxe editions, that they're separating them by different story arcs. So this one, again, 400 pages for both editions. From the world of manga, Astro Royale Volume 1 is coming out that same week, and that is being published by the folks at Viz. We're getting Blue Exorcist, a continuation of this manga, Volume 31, my gosh. Bugle Call Song of War Volume 2 is coming out that same week, and that is being published by the folks over at Viz. We're getting Colette Decides to Die Volume 4 coming out from the folks at Viz, as well as The Dark Gathering Volume 14 coming out that week. And Dan, God bless America, 14 is coming out. I get it stuck in my head. I'm sure some of you are making fun of me, like, wait a minute, that old guy can't say Dan. Anyway, now I think my brother was telling me that this is the gentleman that was doing some of he was a illustrator for some of the backup stuff in Chainsaw Man, if I'm not mistaken. So that's awesome that these guys are blowing up for themselves. Demon Slayer Kimetsu Academy Volume 6, which is one of those side stories from Demon Slayer. And we're also getting The Elusive Samurai Volume 16 coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at Viz Media, as well as Fushigi Yugi Byako Senki Volume 2. I had no idea Fushigi Yugi had come back, and it's already on a Volume 2. That's awesome. I'm a huge fan of the original Fushigi Yugi. I don't remember what was it called? Goken? The second series got finished or not. Kamen Rider Kuga now is on Volume 10 from the folks over at Titan Manga. My Special One is coming out, and that is a Volume 10 from the folks over at Viz. We are getting the Vinland Saga hardcover Volume 8. And I heard that this just wrapped up in Japan, so we actually have maybe they've thought about the mapping for the final volume of that when it comes out. One Piece continuing with a Volume 109. And You and I Are Polar Opposites, and that's being published by the folks over at Viz. And 3:33 a.m. Stories is coming out by Yitan, and that is being published by Afterlight Comics. And the Infinite T Force Volume 3 coming out that week. From other publishers, we're getting The Adventures of Super Diaper Baby, the colored edition, coming out that week, as well as American Football Cards 1888 to 1988. If you're a big fan of that, that's done in a landscape format from Hermes Press. The Archives of Unexplained Volume 1 is coming out, and that is the Area 51 from the folks at First Second Books. We're also getting the Avengers in Veracity Trap hardcover, and that's being published by the folks over at Abrams. I think this is the Chip Kit book. Yeah, that's awesome. And this is Michael Cho doing some of the artwork in here. I cannot wait to see the finished product. Very excited about that. I got to talk to Chip Kit about that at New York Comic Con. And the Best of John Wagner's Judge Dredd hardcover is coming out that week. And, of course, that's being published by the folks at 2000 AD. And we're also getting the Bruce Dickinson's The Mandrake Project Year 1 coming out that week. And that is a hardcover. And we're getting the Essential Judge Dredd Volume 4, Dredd vs. Death, as well as a new printing of the Essential Judge Dredd Volume 2, The Apocalypse War. Fate, The Wink Saga Volume 2, The Shadow War is coming out. From Blood, the collected edition is coming out that week, and that's being published by the folks at Cosmic Times. We are getting the Golden Age Classics Amazing Man hardcover Volume 2, and that's done by PS Art Books, of course, as well as the Golden Age Classics Black Terror, the softie. That goes without saying that is a soft cover. And we are getting the Gwar, The Return of Gore trade paperback. Man, that's awesome. We are getting He Lost His Keys in Space, and that's being published by Black Panel Press, as well as Hulk Teach Marvel hardcovers. Interesting. And that is an original graphic novel. By the way, the Hulk book is done by Graphics, so it's not being published by Marvel, which is why it's here with the independent books. Kill Train is coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Last Band on Earth coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at Renegade Arts Entertainment. As well as the Magical History Tour 3-in-1 hardcover coming out that very same week. And we are getting the My Name is Benny Volume 1. That is being published by Graphics, $12.99. As well as the Mighty Marvel Team-Up Spider-Man Quantum Quest coming out. And that book, again, is not being published by Marvel. This one is being published by Abrams Fanfare. This is by Mike Mayhack, both the writer and artist on the book. And it looks like it's a it's a kid's book. And my not my Miraculous Ladybug, my little baby cousin's daughter, Miraculous Ladybug, Chibi Super Special. She has a few of these books and absolutely loves them. And I'm like, yeah, whatever gets kids reading, that's what it's all about. The New Adventures of Turning Red, Volume 1 is coming out that week. And we're getting the Oddity Woods, Volume 1 coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Athenaeum Books for young readers. So definitely for young readers. Paw and Order hardcover Volume 1, The Grilled Cheese Caper. The Pokemon Graphic Collection Search for Lapras is coming out that week. And that is being published by Graphics again, books. And Rick and Morty Compendium Volume 4 is coming out that very same week. And that's being published by the folks over at Oni Press. This one is $39.99. Smurf Tales hardcover Volume 13, Smurfs and the Dream Machine, from the folks at Papercut. Snoopy Story of My Life Myth Legend, The Beagle, is coming out that week. And that's being published by Simon Spotlight. We are getting the Star Riders volume, or not, it's just an original graphic novel. Star Riders by Venom Comics, $24.99. And we are getting Tarna Volume 2, Last Tarakian, coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks over at Heavy Metal Magazine, $24.99. Too Much Coffee Man Saves the Universe. There's a name I haven't seen for a while, from Shannon Wheeler. This is $20 from Microcosm Publishing. And this is a collection of... this new book collects the first appearance of Too Much Coffee Man from the mini comic, short stories, ads, and the story Wheeler Shot with a Gun. Also included are the sketches from Sergio Aragonés, Dan Klaus, Adrian Tamine, Mike Judge, and others. So this is a new edition of Too Much Coffee Man. Vern, Custodian of the Universe, is coming out that very same week. And that's being published by the folks at Flying Eye Books. We are getting What Is It? Volume 1 coming out that week. And that's being published by Heavy Metal Magazine. And Also getting Wish I Was a Baller. I wish I was a little bit tall. Yeah, I had to do that, right? From Graphics, that one is $14.99. And Yagas Volume 1, Kraynobi Tales, is coming out that very same week. And Graphics has given us the adorable Empire that week. As well as, this is really interesting, I don't know exactly how they're going to be doing this, but Too Much Coffee Man, the original comics 1 through 9 trade paperback, is also coming out from the folks at Microcosm Publishing, and that one is $19.99. And if you're interested in any of the books I talked about so far, check out our sponsor in Canada, BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. They have a physical storefront in Montreal, Quebec, and their website, bdcosmos.com, offers 25% off your order of over $99 or more, and free shipping everywhere in Canada for every order of $250 or more.
Their shipping care is exceptional. Your books will stay cozy through the rough Canadian weather and arrive to you in near mint condition.
After checkout, let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way, and you'll be added to the monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers.
Don't be afraid to call or email them. Ask them questions. Their staff is always happy to help guide you towards the right purchase. Visit their website, bdcosmos.com, for more. BD Cosmos, with rewards and raffles taking care of customers in Canada. Eh?
August 12th or 13th from Marvel Comics, we are kicking it off with All New X-Men by Brian Michael Bendis Omnibus. Both covers, of course, available the same day. And this one collecting All New X-Men 1 through 15, 18 through 41, and Guardians of the Galaxy 11 through 13. So it does have the Trial of the Phoenix, does not have the Black Vortex, nor the Battle for the Atom. Battle of the Atom is collected in the later released Uncanny X-Men by Brian Michael Bendis, by the way. The book has a total of 1,048 pages, $125. Fantastic Four by Wade and Wieringo, Unthinkable. I love that they're reprinting the trade paperbacks of these. Collecting Fantastic Four 67 through 70, 500 to 502. This book has a total of 200 pages and retails for $24.99. Incredible Hulk Volume 5, Gods Drink Blood, is coming out that week. Collecting Incredible Hulk 20 through 24. The book has a total of 152 pages and retails for $19.99. Laura Kinney, Wolverine Volume 1, One Mutant Army by Erica Schultz and Gata Belviso. This one is collecting Laura Kinney Wolverine 1 through 5, 120 pages, $17.99. Namor, the Submariner Omnibus, Volume 1 coming out. Collecting Submariner 1, Fantastic Four 4, 6, 9, 14, 27, and 33. Annual number 1, Avengers 3 and 4, X-Men 6, Daredevil 7, and material from Tales to Astonish 70 through 101. Iron Man and Submariner number 1, Tales of Suspense 79 through 80, Strange Tales 107 and 125, and Not Brand Ek 1, 4, and 9. And lots of stories where he was sharing a magazine with somebody else, but still, the beginning of his ongoing series. It's crazy that we just have Submariner, the one-shot from 1968, and then the Iron Man and Submariner 1. The book has 920 pages and $125. Phoenix Volume 2, Cosmic Ascent, is coming out from Stephanie Phillips. Marco Rena is the artist on the book, collecting Phoenix 6 through 10. Alien Paradiso is coming out from Steve Fox and Peter Wynn. And this is collecting Alien Paradiso 1 through 5. Symbiote Spider-Man by Peter David Omnibus. This book is collecting Symbiote Spider-Man 1 through 5. Absolute Carnage Symbiote Spider-Man. Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality 1 through 5, Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black 1 through 5, Symbiote Spider-Man Crossroads 1 through 5, and Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 1 through 5. Written by the legendary and gone way too soon Peter David, with artwork in here from Greg Land and Roge Antonio. The book has 632 pages and retails for $100. The Young Avengers coming out with a modern era epic collection. Dark Reign, collecting Young Avengers and Runaways 1 through 4. Young Avengers Presents 1 through 6. Secret Invasion Runaways Young Avengers 1 through 3. Dark Reign Young Avengers 1 through 5. And Siege Young Avengers number 1. The book has a total of 456 pages and retails for $49.99. And from the world of DC Comics, Absolute Wonder Woman is kicking off this week. And this is Volume 1, The Last Amazon. Collecting the first 7 issues of Absolute Wonder Woman. And you had me at Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. Been a huge fan of both of those for a while. 208 pages, $24.99. The same exact content in trade paperback will be available the same day for $17.99. Batgirl Stephanie Brown Volume 2, the 2025 edition. So this is the Stephanie Brown era by Brian Q. Miller and Pere Perez doing some of the artwork in here, as well as Dustin Nguyen. This one is collecting Batgirl 13 through 24, Bruce Wayne, The Road Home, Batgirl number 1, and Batman Incorporated, Leviathan Strikes number 1. The book has a total of 328 pages and retails for $29.99. Batman by Tom King, Book 2 is coming out that week. So not only are we getting the Omnis, we've had them in deluxe edition and skinny trades, we're also getting these fat trades, collecting Batman 21 through 43, Batman Annuals 1 and 2, and The Flash 21 through 22. The book has a total of 520 pages, $49.99. Batman the Brave and the Bold, Legends of Justice is coming out that week. $19.99, 192 pages. Collecting the Brave and the Bold 7 through 13. And also the Batman Year 3, the deluxe edition coming out. This is collecting Batman 436 to 439. You already know that's going to make it in my top 10 must-reads. Will definitely buy for the month of August. I love that story. It is, to me, will always be Robin Year 1. I mean, it's just the way it always was for me, since it was a big part of my childhood. This book has a total of 112 pages, and it is $19.99. DC Finest Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle challenges the Red Knight. Not Ted Kord, not Jaime Reyes. Looking at the Dan era of Blue Beetle. This is crazy. This stuff has never been collected. It might have been collected in hardcover. I don't think they did archives of this era. Collecting Captain Atom 83 to 86. And then the Blue Beetle from 1964, 1 through 5. Blue Beetle from 1965, 1 through 5. 50 through 54. And Charlton Bullseye. So it's the era of the Charlton Blue Beetle. That's crazy. Like, that this stuff is now coming out. Of all things in DC Finest format. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, Who Killed Jimmy Olsen, the deluxe edition. Collecting all 12 issues of this series by Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber. And this is the book that was delayed. Was supposed to come out last month, but it is now coming out the second week. This one is $49.99, 376 pages. Wonder Woman by Phil Jimenez Omnibus, the 2025 edition. Collecting Wonder Woman 164 to 188, Wonder Woman Our Worlds at War number 1, Wonder Woman Secret Files and Origins 3, Teen Titans Outsiders Secret Files 1 through 4, and then the variant covers by Phil Jimenez. This book is 856 pages, which is the exact same content as the original printing, $100. Be prepared to do a lot of reading is what I always tell people when talking about this book. And I mean a lot of reading. From the world of Image Comics, we are getting the Black Kiss Omnibus. I think that information comes from Lunar, by the way. And the Savage Dragon Archives, Volume 11. I had no idea that we're continuing these, so that's really cool. And also the Witchblade trade paperback, Volume 2. This is the Witchblade from the new series. This one collects issues 7 through 12. Still Sarah Pazzini, but it is now, I believe, Mark Silvestri is helping to plot this, if I'm not mistaken, and Marjorie Bennett. and that one is $19.99. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we are getting the Akina coming out that week. That is by Mattel Casali. And this is a trade paperback for 144 pages, $29.99. And Rochelle Aragno is the artist on the book. And we are getting the From the World of Minor Threats, The Brood by Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom and Heath Corson. And I.N.J. Colbert is the artist. I'm a huge fan of Minor Threats, so I'm enjoying all these little minis and the ongoing series, or I guess the different mini-series from the ongoing series. This is collecting The Brood 1 through 4. Myths, Tales from the Cosmos is coming out in a hardcover format for $29.99. And this is 160 pages by Colin Lorimer and Jasmine Walls and Kendra Wells. The Carlisle School for Kings is coming out in a trade paperback edition, collecting the Carlisle School for Kings 1 through 4. The book has a total of 104 pages and retails for $19.99. From the world of IDW, we're getting Spoops, The Little Spirits of Halloween, coming out by A.J. Locasio. It's a hardcover for $14.99, 72 pages. My Little Pony Friendship is Spooky. This is by Tony Fleece is doing the art here, and Tom Zahler is doing the writing, collecting Friendship is Magic issues 32 to 33 and 43 to 45. And from the world of Boom Studios, we are getting Butterfly by Arash Amel and Marjorie Bennett, Antonio Fuso. This is a trade paperback, 144 pages, $17.99, and it is an original trade paperback. Damon, The Complete Collection by Matt Gagnon and Brian Stilfreeze did the art here? Shoot. I'm a huge fan of Brian Stilfreeze. Michael Avon Nelson is also the writer on this book. It collects Damon 1 through 8. Flavor Girls, The Return to the Mothership is coming out, and it's collecting Flavor Girls 1 through 3. The book has a total of 160 pages. It is a hardcover for $24.99. From the world of Dynamite, Miss Fury Joy Division homage. This is the Risque edition. And Vampirella Archives Volume 1 is coming back to print. And that is from the world of Dynamite. From Titan Comics, Conan the Barbarian, the original comics omnibus, Volume 5 is coming out that day. The direct market cover. And then Conan the Barbarian, the original comics omnibus, Volume 6, both the direct market and the standard edition cover are coming out that day. We are getting the Conan the Barbarian volume. Man, there's a lot of Conan love here. It's awesome. Conan the Barbarian, Volume 5, the Twisting Loyalties, the direct market cover and the regular cover coming out that day. The King Conan Omnibus Volume 1 is coming out, and that is the direct market cover to the Mark Silvestri cover. Okay, so some of these, I think it's because they're switching distributors. They're going to be using Lunar, if I'm not mistaken, that they're releasing some of these in a standard edition cover that has already come out through Diamond, if I'm not mistaken. And now some of the direct market covers that didn't go through all of Diamond, if you will, is now being distributed or redistributed through Lunar. So that's what's happening. Because I was wondering, what the heck? I already did an overview of this. Because we're also getting the Savage Sword Conan, the original comics Omnibus Volume 5, to direct market cover. So it looks like they're redistributing some things. Marvel's Daredevil, The First 60 Years is coming out in a hardcover format, as well as Peanuts All Year Round Mini Collection hardcover. And The Skin Police, trade paperback Volume 1. From the world of manga, Fly Me to the Moon is on Volume freaking 29. That's insane. That is published by Viz. We're getting Haikyuu 3-in-1. And that volume is number 5. Oh, Legend of Kamui Volume 2 is coming out that week. Absolutely love the first one. That is one of my favorite reads of the year so far. And we're getting Mao Volume 21 following or continuing Rumiko Takahashi's work. And Spice and Wolf, the collector's edition, coming out that very same week. And that one is being released as a hardcover. And Welcome to Ghost Mansion Volume 2 is coming out that very same week. As well as the Working for a God in a Godless World Volume 3 coming out that very same week. Abrams Books is also putting out, this is through their Kana line, is also putting out Space Punch Volume 3. From other publishers, we are getting The Best of 2000 AD Volume 2. As well as Volume 3. This is the essential gateway to the galaxy's greatest comics. If you haven't had a chance to read these, it looks like they're redistributing these, as well as a Volume 4. The Complete Hate is coming out, Volume 1, and it is coming out as a trade paperback. Dracula's Brunch Club is coming out that very same week, and that book is a trade paperback. Fairy Tale Fixer's Cinderella is coming out that very same week. The Adventures of Lion Man is coming out that very same week from the folks at Rosarium Publishing. That one is $17.95. And we're getting the Cryptid Kids Volume 2 Moby Duck coming out. Flash Gordon trade paperback Volume 2 from the folks over at Mad Cave is coming out. I Am the Law, How Judge Dredd Predicted Our Future, again redistributed through Lunar now. The Lost Marvels hardcover Volume 2, Howard Chaykin Volume 1 from the wonderful folks at Fantagraphics. These books are amazing if you haven't had a chance to read them. I'm almost hope to get done reading it to do my overview before this particular week. And the Loud House Volume 24, this is a hardcover, Move Into the Music. The Marvel Art of Michael Turner is coming out, and this is from the folks at Clover Press. Rabagoo Race is coming out from Living the Line, as well as the Rosalie Lighting graphic memoir from the folks at Street Noise Books. Miss Rookie is coming out that same week, and that is being published by New York Review Books. Didn't know whether to put it in a manga or not. It's by Fumiko Takano. And it is, I guess it is a manga because it is a classic Japanese manga, but it's a vivid portrait of the lives of two young women in Tokyo during the 1980s bubble economy. That's all I needed to hear. That sounds like something up my alley. And Tall Water is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by the folks at Harper Alley. Taylor Swift, the graphic novel by Gemini Adult Graphic Novels, is coming out. Wake Up Pisoto is coming out that very same week, as well as the WizKid Volume 2 from Athenaeum Books for Young Readers. And we are also getting the Yogs Volume 3 Mystic Orb coming out that week. And you're all just jealous of my my jetpack, I almost said backpack, to wrap up that week. Now, if you're interested in any of the books I've talked about for this part of the segment so far, check out our sponsor in the EU.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltzcomicshop.com, and you can use the code Near Mint Condition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
From Marvel Comics, the week of August 19th or 20th, we kick it off with Aliens vs. Avengers. This is by Jonathan Hickman and Azad Ribic, collecting Aliens vs. Avengers 1 through 4. The book has 152 pages and retails for $19.99. Annihilation Conquest Omnibus is coming out, And this is 872 pages, $100. Collecting Nova 1 through 12 and Annual 1. Annihilation Conquest Prologue, Annihilation Conquest Star-Lord 1 through 4, Annihilation Conquest Quasar 1 through 4, Conquest Wraith 1 through 4, the actual Annihilation Conquest 1 through 6, and Annihilation Saga, oh, tongue twister there, Saga Volume 1. The book has a total of 872 pages and retails for $100. Daredevil by Saladin Ahmed Volume 4 is coming out, and this is Last Rites, collecting Daredevil 16 through 19, plus Laura Kinney Wolverine 2 through 3. I assume it's crossing... Oh, well, that doesn't make sense, because Laura Kinney... Oh, maybe there's some backup stories? I don't know. If you read them, let me know, please. 136 pages, $17.99. Fear Itself is getting a new printing, and this is collecting Fear Itself Book of the Skull #1 and Fear Itself 1 through 6 and 7 the A story. The book has a total of 248 pages, $34.99. Helverine Volume 1 The Lost Highways is coming out by Benjamin Percy and Raphael Lenko, and this is collecting Helverine from the 2024 series 1 through 5 with a brand new Helverine character. 120 pages, $17.99. Marvel Masterworks, The Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 4, part of the Remasterworks, and this is collecting issues 31 through 40. So you'll have Steve Ditko and John Romita Sr. through here. And this is 280 pages, $75. And yes, still fighting that fight of hashtag Save the Masterworks. The New Warriors, Nova and Night Thrasher Omnibus. I'm still on the fence whether this is going to... I know it's crazy. I'm the guy that's like, oh, the New Warriors. Whether this is going to make my list of top 10 or not. There's a lot of great books coming out this month. But collecting Night Thrasher 1, the B story, 2 through 10, 13 through 21, Nova 1 through 5, 8 through 16. If you're thinking, what's going on? Why are those issues missing? Those are collected as part of the crossover time and time again that was collected in the New Warriors Omnibus Volume 2. Fantastic Four 356, Amazing Spider-Man 351 and 358. I know why I'm laughing is because that and Kings of Pain, I think, have been collected in so many different collections over the years. Darkhawk 26 and 27, the A stories, 28 and 29, Web of Spider-Man 109, the A story, or Iron Man 303, and Spider-Man Friends and Enemies 1 through 4, plus Ultra Girl 1 through 3. The book has a total of 1,320 pages and retails for $150. Both covers available the same day. NYX Volume 2. Oh, actually, no, let's go back to New Warriors, because I owe it to New Warriors. I love the New Warriors. So just in case it doesn't make it in my top 10, it is, to me, an amazing series. I love the New Warriors. But what makes this one so unique is you're getting a lot of early Kurt Busiek stuff in those issues of Night Thrasher. So once Fate in the Series kind of sets up these books, he ends up leaving the book, and he gives it to Kurt Busiek. Kurt Busiek, who went on to, of course, do Astro City from here, and then, of course, my favorite Avengers run. Kurt Busiek, guy that did Marvels, like he was writing early 90s Night Thrasher. It's kind of hard to say no to that, right? It's got Bandit in there and Silhouette. Plus you get the Nova series in here. Some of it, like I said, like the crossover parts have been collected in the New Warriors Omni 2, but this is everything that was missing from those, including like the Puppet Master using Marvel Boy to fight against the Fantastic Four, the Round Robin series, the fight with Darkhawk here, and including the Web of Spider-Man stuff when they were trying to make the New Warriors fit into the Spider-Man books, plus their appearances in Iron Man. And Ultra Girl, who will become a new warrior in the second series. And let's go with NYX now. Volume 2, Mojo City. This is by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, collecting issues 6 through 10, 112 pages, $15.99. Spider-Man Gang War Omnibus. This is collecting Amazing Spider-Man 39 through 44, Daredevil Gang War 1 through 4, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu Gang War 1 through 3, Jackpot 1, Luke Cage Gang War 1 through 4, Miles Morales Spider-Man 13 through 16, and Spider-Woman 1 through 4. The book has a total of 680 pages and retails for $100. Thor! Modern Era Epic Collection, The World Eaters, is coming out, collecting Thor 615 to 621, 620.1, The Mighty Thor 1 through 6, and Free Comic Book Day 2010 Iron Man Thor. This is the era of Matt Fraction. There's actually Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning do some of the stuff in here. John Romita Jr., Pasquale Ferry, and also, of course, Olivia Coipel doing some of the art. $49.99, 408 pages. TBA for All Time Always by Catherine Blair and Ryan North. Oh, Pere Perez and Enid Balam are the artists collecting the TBA series from 2024, 1 through 5. The book has a total of 120 pages, $17.99. X-Force by Jeffrey Thorne, Volume 2. The Solution is coming out. This is 136 pages and retails for $17.99, collecting X-Force 6 through 10. We are also getting the X-Men by Jed MacKay Volume 2, Hostile Takeover, collecting X-Men 11 through 18. This book has 184 pages, 184 pages, $24.99. And from the world of DC Comics, we're getting Absolute DC, The New Frontier, coming out that week. And man, what an amazing story. It's coming out in a compact, and the Absolute is being reprinted. 528 pages, $125. And this is the week that we're getting the Absolute Superman Volume 1, The Last Dust of Krypton. So this is by Jason Aaron and Rafael Sandoval, collecting the first 6 issues of this book. 176 pages, $24.99, and also coming out in a trade paperback for $17.99. So very excited to read all of these Absolute editions for the first time. Batgirl Volume 1, Mother, is coming out by Tate Brombal and Takeshi Miyazawa. This is collecting the first 6 issues. I don't know if this is a ongoing or if it's a miniseries, but Tate Brombal is the House of Slaughter writer, and of course Miyazawa has done things like Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane, Ultimate Spider-Man, and 136 pages, $17.99. Batman by Tom King, Omnibus Volume 1. So this is collecting Batman Rebirth number 1, Batman 1 through 24, Nightwing 5 through 6, Detective Comics 941 to 942, The Flash 21 and 22, Batman Annual number 1, Batman Elmer Fudd Special number 1. The book has a total of 984 pages and retails for $125. This is crazy, it's just crazy that at one time we were getting like one Batman omnibus every 6 months, if that. Sometimes they were just reprints, but we're also getting the Batman by Mariko Tamaki. This is the Batman Detective Comics by Mariko Tamaki omnibus. And we know in the catalog that we saw Batman by Chip Zdarsky omnibus. So this is collecting the Detective Comics 1027, 1034 to 1061, Detective Comics 2021 Annual number 1, The Secret Files Huntress number 1, Future State Dark Detective 1 through 4, along with Batman One Bad Day, Two-Face, and Tales from Batman's Secret Files 3, and Batman Black and White 5. So it's everything Tamaki did. 1,000 pages, $100. And Dan Mora, Javier Fernandez are the artists on the book. And DC's finest, Hawkman, Wings Across Time, is coming out, collecting The Brave and the Bold 34 through 36, 42 to 44, Mystery in Space 87 to 90, and The Atom 7, Hawkman 1 through 16. The book has a total of 560 pages. My gosh, $39.99. That is awesome. DC Horror Presents. This is a trade paperback that collects DC Horror Presents 1 through 4, $9.99. And we are also getting the Milestone Universe, the Shadow Cabinet, coming out that very same week. And This is collecting the Shadow Cabinet 1 through 4 and the Milestone 30th Anniversary Special number 1. This is by Joseph Illich and Atagun Ilan and Daryl. Oh, Daryl Banks coming back. I thought this was the classic stuff, but it's the new Milestone universe. $17.99, 208 pages. Superman Legacy box set is coming out, collecting All-Star Superman, Superman for All Seasons, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, and Kingdom Come. This is a box set, and these are all trade paperbacks, $84.99, 808 pages worth of material. Wonder Woman Blood and Guts, the DC Compact Comics edition, is coming out, and is collecting the first few issues of the New 52 Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang, $9.99. From the world of Image Comics, we are getting Die, the hardcover, the deluxe hardcover at that, by Robert Kirkman and Scott Simple and Chris Burnham and Nathan Fairbairn. And this is collecting the entire series in a deluxe format for $49.99. And we're also getting the Hive trade paperback collecting issues 1 through 4 of this particular series. We're getting Monstrous Volume 3. It is the signed edition of Monstrous, as well as the space opera Xanadax Across the Unknown Dimensions of the Galaxy. That is an awesome title. This is by Tom Scioli. Of course, that was an awesome title. That's why. $19.99. And the Spawn Origins Volume 31. Again, this is a trade paperback editions. $185 to $190 is what's collected in here. $16.99. From the world of Dark Horse Comics, we're getting Arkham Horror, The Terror at the End of Time, coming out from Cullen Bunn and Andre Moody. 128 pages. I like both of those creators. $19.99, and this is collecting The Terror at the End of Time 1 through 4. And we're also getting the Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Phase 3 Volume 4, and this is collecting issues 14 through 16 of that series. $19.99, 112 pages. The Elf Quest, the original Quest Book 3, Wolf Blood Cage, is coming out that week. $29.99, 192 pages. And Ianu, Child of Wonder, the Library Edition, Volume 1 is coming out, and I have been wanting to read this. This is collecting both volumes. The artwork just looks amazing. This is by Roye Okupe and Godwin Akpan and Chima Kalu. And this is 256 pages, $49.99. From the world of IDW, we're getting Iron Heart. And this is by Lucas Coomer, and this is an original graphic novel, $24.99, 312 pages. The Jack Kirby's Forever People Artist Edition. We just did the Mr. Miracle Jack Kirby's Artist Edition, and now we're getting the Jack Kirby's Forever People Artist Edition. $150, 144 pages. Sonic the Hedgehog Volume 19, Collision Course is coming out. 128 pages, collecting issues 72 to 75 of Sonic the Hedgehog, and $16.99. The Exorcism at 1600 Pen, and that is 128 pages, $21.99, by Hannah Rose May and Vanessa Del Rey. Man. Star Trek The Strange New Worlds Omnibus Volume 1 is coming out from Mike Johnson, Kirsten Beyer, and Ryan Parrott. And this is collecting, let's see, the Scorpius Run, and Yesterday's Shadow, and Facemaker, and stories from the Star Trek Celebration. 240 pages, $24.99. From the world of manga, Hunter 3-in-1 is coming out with a volume 3 that very same week, as well as Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 27. I want to say that this is also the mangaka that helped out the gentleman that was doing Chainsaw Man. Or was it My Hero? I can't remember. My brother talks and I sort of listen. Got a lot in my head to remember. One Punch Man! Or maybe it was One Punch Man started as a webcomic. We got drunk and he started telling me all these little did you know facts. This is volume 31, by the way, of manga. Because while I don't read as much manga as I used to, I was big into manga. I'm actually, we were both big into manga at one time. And it's kind of cool that he still continued reading them while reading X-Men. Krakoa, baby, brought him back to X-Men after a few decades. Red River 3-in-1 Volume 4. I'm so glad these are coming back and they are pumping them out. I love this stuff. I missed out on the original Tankobons and now they're coming out in 3-in-1s and I'm all here for it. Rent a Girlfriend oh my gosh, 32. I think I got the first box set and that's it. Wow. That's going to be a while before we get there. Rooster Fighter Volume 8. Oh, come on. That's cute. That's cute. Snowball Earth Volume 6 is coming out that same week. And we are also getting the Solo Leveling Volume 13 from the folks at Yen Press coming out that same week. And Somali and the Forest Spirit Volume 3 coming out that very same week, as well as the Tokyo Fierce Rhapsody Volume 1 coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Viz. Vagabond, the Definitive Edition Volume 3, speaking of Viz, is coming out that very same week. And continuing that series, I know that it was in hiatus in Japan. I don't know if it's still in hiatus. So in the comments down below, let me know. Adored by an Elite Officer Volume 2 is coming. What is that man doing to that poor woman? Oh, sorry. Missed the title. He's adoring her. That is being published by Steamship. I love these titles. And then, of course, Wondering Witch from Square Enix Manga. This is a Volume 6 coming out that same week. And Confessions of a Shy Baker Volume 5 from the folks at Tokyo Pop, who I think are still printing on demand. We are getting the Architect's Epiphany coming out that week. And we're getting the 2-page Under Delves? Oh, this is a Goodman Games staff. It's a compilation of over 20 short adventures. Okay, looks like it's done in a landscape format. And Bloody Mary graphic biography is coming out from Andrews McNeil that very same week, as well as the Best of 2000 AD. Oh, this is where the rest of them are coming out. Volume 5, The Essential Gateway to the Galaxy's Greatest Comic. And, of course, Best of 2000 AD, Volume 6. Now, there's only 6 of these. If you want to catch up, it's like a little taste of what 2000 AD has to offer, and they're wonderful. We're also getting the Buff Soul coming out in a hardcover format. Mad Cave is releasing Defenders of the Earth Volume 2 coming out that very same week. And we are also getting the Diary of a Nerd from Graphics Entertainment. And that is $12.99. The Disney's Alice in Wonderland is coming out that very same week, as well as Drome. Free Speech Handbook is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by the folks over at 23rd Street, as well as Goat Magic coming out from Oni Press that very same week. And that is by Kate Wheeler. Oh, Kate Wheeler did the Dragon Tea Society. Oh, I'm in for that. And then we're getting the Essential Judge Anderson Volume 1, Shambhala. If you haven't had a chance to read it, it's got gorgeous artwork. And Volume 2, the Satan book. Geronimo Stilton Reporter hardcover Volume 19, Cheese Connection, is coming out that week. I love that title. Iron Maiden, Where's Eddie softcover is coming out from the folks at Fantoons that very same week. And Pop Kill is coming out in a trade paperback edition, as well as the Multi's Treasury trade paperback Little Things from Andrews McNeil. That's being published in a landscape format. Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders, Volume 2, The Quest for Avalon, is coming out. Man, that sounds so epic, and I'm all here for it. And we are getting the Space Case. That is an original graphic novel from the folks at Simon Schuster's Young Readers, coming out that week. The Tarot Graphic Library is coming out from Leaping Hare Press that very same week. And This Place Kills Me is coming out in a trade paperbacks from Abrams Fanfare. Tripping Over You, Book 1, is coming out that week, as well as the True Colors coming out that very same week. Hellhunters from Marvel Comics kicks off the last week of the month. This is by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Adam Gorham, and this is collecting issues 1 through 5, and I'm so glad they did this because I love these characters in the Incredible Hulk story, and I was like, oh, maybe they should do a miniseries. Yep, they're doing it. That's awesome. Infinity Watch Universal Destruction is coming out, and this is collecting the 2024 series of Infinity Watch. 120 pages, $17.99, and these are the new Infinity Gems holders. I think they're calling them stones now in the comics too. Miles Morales Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection Spider-Man No More is coming out, collecting Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 13 through 28, 16.1, 384 pages, $49.99. Sabretooth, The Dead Don't Talk by Frank Thierry, coming back to write this character, collecting the 5-issue miniseries, and Michael Maria is the artist. And Frank Thierry wrote the Sabretooth stories in Weapon X, and of course his the last hurrah of Wolverine, the first ongoing series. 120 pages, $17.99. Spectacular Spider-Man by DeMatteis and Buscema. Omnibus finally coming out, collecting Spectacular Spider-Man 178 to 216, Spectacular Spider-Man Annuals 12 and 4 all the way to 14, and Amazing Spider-Man Soul of the Hunter one shot. 1,200 pages, $125. And we are also getting the Star Wars, both covers by the way are available the same day. Star Wars, the Kanan, I think it's Kanan, Modern Era Epic Collection, The Last Padawan. This is a book that for some reason just was moved over to this year. It was supposed to come out last year sometime. But this is collecting the Kanan Last Padawan 1 through 5, and then Kanan 6 through 12. The book has a total of 272 pages, $37.99. The Nam 1966 to 1969 Omnibus, $125 for 1,128 pages. Both covers available the same day. Collecting the Nam 1 through 45 and Savage Tales 1 and 4, which is kind of like the predecessor to the Nam, by Doug Murray, who does a majority of the stuff. And of course, the first year was done by like Michael Golden. Lots of great artists in here, lots of great stories. That one for sure will make it in my top. Oh my gosh, the top 10 is going to be freaking hard. A lot of great books coming out this month. And Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Old School, New School is coming out that same week. This is by Christos Gage, who I think helped write the show, and collecting issues 1 through 5. I believe it's an adaptation of the TV show. From DC Comics, we are getting Absolute Batman Haunted Night, the 2025 edition. Jeff Loeb, Tim Sell. The book will collect Catwoman When in Rome 1 through 6, as well as the trilogy of Batman, the Haunted Night Halloween specials, which is Madness, and then Ghosts, and... No, it started off as the Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween special. That's what it was. And then there was Madness. And then there was Ghosts. And then, yes, it will also have Catwoman When in Rome 1 through 6 and Batman Dark Victory number 13. The book has a total of 360 pages and retails for $100. Batman Huntress Cry for Blood 2025 edition. Collecting this miniseries. This awesome miniseries at that. By Greg Rucka and Rick Burchett. In case you missed out on it, it's been long out of print and now back in print. $17.99, 144 pages. Batman 66 Compendium, collecting Batman 66 1 through 30, Batman 66 The Lost Episode number 1, and then a story from Solo number 7. 1,008 pages, $59.99, in case you missed that on the Omni. Batman Red Hood, The Lost Days. It's interesting that they're reprinting a trade paperback like this. This is by Judd Winnick and Pablo Raimondi with Jeremy Hahn. And this is collecting the 6-issue miniseries, 144 pages, $17.99. Another Batman trade that's coming out, and that is Batman Year 100 by Paul Pope. My most wanted absolutes, DC Omnis, Marvel Omnis, Marvel Gallery editions, or I guess Archive editions is what they're calling them now. Those videos are starting, will start in the next weeks, so keep an eye out for that. This reminded me, I'm like, oh, I've wanted this in absolute format. Who knows, maybe one day. Paul Pope, man, this is so awesome. If you like his art. I actually had friends that don't, but you know, to each their own. 232 pages, $19.99, and it collects the 4-issue miniseries plus the Elseworld Tale, the Berlin Batman. You know what's really cool is that we're getting the Batman Elseworld Omnis. And when I talked to DC, they told me that, you know, they were thinking maybe the Omnis would be a 4-volume set of all of the Elseworlds, and I think now they decided to separate them by character. So that's pretty cool. Not sure how many there's going to be, though, of just Batman. Black Lightning, the standard, collecting Black Lightning 1 through 5, 152 pages, $17.99. The New Gods, Volume 1, The Falling Sky by Ram V, Jorge Fornes, and people have told me just how great this is. This is going to be a 12-issue saga, and this is collecting the first 6 issues of that. The Question All Along the Watchtower by Alex Segura, who I think is... Alex, is he writing Dick Tracy? But anyway, this is collecting the first few issues of this series, and Clan Torme is the artist. This is 136 pages, $17.99. Sandman Mystery Theater Compendium Volume 2, Matt Wagner, Guy Davis, collecting Sandman Mystery Theater 37 through 70, Vertigo Winner's Edge 1 and 2. This is a time travel thing if you're watching this week's episode later on, because this is, I always do the last week reminder and I keep the same footage just in case. But anyway, if it didn't make it in my top 10, how dare I not put it there? What the hell is wrong with you, past Omar? Future Omar before I film it. It's a masterpiece. I love this stuff. And we were worried we were never going to get a volume 2, and here it finally is coming out. Volume 1 was one of my favorite books I've recommended to people, and a lot of people have loved them, and they were even like, man, I'll buy an omnibus if they ever decide to do an omni of this. 888 pages, $59.99. The Sheriff of Babylon is coming out with a 2025 edition. This is the deluxe hardcover collecting all 12 issues by Tom King and Mitch Gerards. 304 pages, $29.99. And I'm sorry, it's not a hardcover. It's not a deluxe edition. It is the trade, thick trade that's coming back to print. But what is a hardcover and coming back to print is Wednesday Comics, baby. The 2025 edition, collecting Wednesday Comics 1 through 12. 200 pages and huge oversized format. It is a big, beautiful book. And from the world of Image Comics, we are getting the Knives, a criminal book coming out that week by, of course, none other than Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This is $29.99. We're also getting the Radiant Black Volume 7. They just announced a deluxe edition Volume 2. And this is collecting 31 through 36, $17.99. And Spawn, the Compendium, collecting issues 302 to 350. They said they would only go to 300 at first, and now they're going past 300. That's awesome. $59.99 for that book. And then Ultra Mega by James Herron, Volume 2. I freaking love Ultra Mega, and I'm so glad it's back. Will there be more? Do you all know? Have you all been keeping up with Ultra Mega? I certainly hope so, because it's a great series. The Witcher Library Edition, Volume 3 from the fine folks at Dark Horse Comics. This is continuing that series of collections of library editions, collecting the Ballad of Two Wolves 1 through 4, Wild Animals 1 through 4, the Corvo Bianco 1 through 5, and then the Free Comic Book Day 2023 Frog's Kiss. And the book has a total of 368 pages, $59.99. Those Not Afraid by Kyle Starks and Patrick Piazzalunga, $19.99, collecting all 4 issues and 120 pages. And Critical Role, Bell's Hell's coloring book is coming out for $19.99, 96 pages. And from the world of Boom Comics, we're getting Vicarious. And that is by Ryan Parrott and Eleonora Carlini. This is a trade paperback, 144 pages, $19.99. And we're also getting the DC Cover Artist Edition Volume 1 coming out. So you have artists like Jim Lee, Mike Mignola, Walter Simonson, John Byrne, Bernie Wrightson. 128 pages worth of covers, $150. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the IDW Collection Volume 7 is coming out that very same day. And that is 328 pages, $39.99, mapped exactly like the oversized hardcovers, collecting issues 51 through 64 of the Ninja Turtles ongoing series. As well as My Little Pony, the Holiday Collection, $10.99, 152 pages. Now, from the world of manga, Blue Lock, continuing this really popular series that I've heard nothing but love for. Common Sense Monster Volume 1 is coming out that very same week, published by the folks at Yen Press. We're also getting Demons Are Planning Something Good that very same week. And my goodness, that okay, that's Yen Press. Sorry about that. And we're also getting the Futari Switch Volume 1 coming out that very same week. And in Heavenly Prison, The Devil Enchants. Look how big the freaking font is on that book. That's ridiculous. You know, is there such a thing as too big? I don't know. They need to bring the font down a little bit with that one. That one is published by Yen Press, and it is by Meteor Jingami. $14 for that book. Man, the things they come out with in Japan. It's All Your Fault, Volume 2 is coming out that week from the folks at Yen Press. And we're also getting Killed Again, Mr. Detective, coming out that week. And that's also being published by the folks at Yen Press. As well as the Land hardcover coming out that week from Yen Press. And Kunan Sorcerer Can See You Volume. Lots of Volume 1s coming out that particular week. Mechanical Marie Volume 1 is coming out that week. And March Comes In Like a Lion Volume 5 is getting a reprint. And that is being published by the folks over at Denpa Books. And we're getting the By Classroom Third Period Forgotten Volume 1 coming out from the folks at Yen Press. Ashita no Joe Fighting is coming out that very same week. And man, those books are awesome. If you haven't been picking up those hardcovers, they are freaking phenomenal. 2 Point Dimensional Seduction Volume 15 from the folks over at Steamship is coming out that week. Just 2 points. That's it. From other publishers, we're getting Alley Oop and Dinosaur from Outer Space, The Complete Sundays, 1994 to 1996. And Alley Oop and King Solomon's Mines coming out. And Alley Oop and The Fabulous Ghost Racer coming out that week. And we're also getting the Children of the Phoenix Volume 4 coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at Ablaze Publishing. We're getting Comet and Moomin Land hardcover coming out that very same week. Antichrist is being published by Dren Productions After Dark. And we're getting the Cry Wolf Girl coming out in a hardcover format. Dead Weights is coming out in a trade paperback format, and that is being published by the folks at Ahoy Comics. Love those guys over there. This is by Tyrone Finch and Sebastian Paris. $18.99. We're getting The Dream On Volume 1 by Roaring Brooks or Brook Press, and that's being published by, that's coming out in a trade paperback format for $14.99. Enigma Town is coming out from the folks at Red 5 Comics that same week. And this is when we're getting the Judge Anderson, the Essential Judge Anderson Childhoods and trade paperback. The Finn Family Moomin Troll hardcover is coming out that week, as well as Galaxy of Madness coming out that very same week, and that is a Volume 2. God Tier Volume 2 is coming out that week. And we're also getting the Golden Age Classics, The Spirit hardcover coming out that very same week. And that is being published by PS Art Books. This is $52.99. Of course, we're looking at Will Eisner, Lou Fine. And this is collecting 22 issues of The Spirit and collects The Spirit's 13 through 17 in here. And features in, let's see here. Oh, okay. First individually from 1940 to 1947. Getting The Joy of Snacking, a graphic novel about food, love, and family. I love that. That's wonderful. In Mourning is coming out that very same week, as well as the Meat trade paperback coming out that very same week. And that is being published by the folks at Cosmic Lion Productions. And we are getting the Marvel Art of Mike Allred hardcover coming out that very same week. There's a direct market cover and a standard edition cover. Laser Eye Surgery is coming out that very same week. And we're also getting Lilith that week. And that is coming out as a restock, or a resolicit, sorry. Meadow in the City of Ghost is coming out in a trade paperback format. And we are getting the Muddy Waters 2, and that's TOO, coming out that week. As well as the Rat Pack Convict Commandos coming out that week. And that is being published by the folks at 2000 AD. And PS Art Books Black Hawk Softy Volume 17 is coming out. As well as PS Art Books Nyoka Jungle Girl Softy Volume 1 coming out that very same week. And Sesame Street Cookie Monster Dinner Party is coming out from the folks at Oni Press. And that is being released as a hardcover format. The Simpsons Futurama Crossover Crisis hardcover is coming out with a new printing that very same week. And we are also getting the Walt Disney's Donald Duck Volume 1 Pirate Gold, and I cannot wait for that. Oh man, I cannot believe over a decade has passed and then we're finally getting a Volume 1. I know it's weird to think about that, but I don't care. I'm excited for it. And we're getting the Walt Disney's Donald Duck hardcover, Volume 26, Tales of an Old Wild Duck. It's part of the Disney Masters line. Bluey's Most Amazing Advent Calendar Book Bundle is coming out from the folks at Penguin Young Readers. That one is $29.99. Tales of the Bazaar Volume 2 is coming out from Dren Productions After Dark. And to wrap up the week of, or the last week of August, and of course the whole month of August, is the Deepwater Creek graphic novel coming out that week. And that is being published by Putnam Song. So, if you're interested in any of the books I've talked about, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. Those were the books that are coming out in August of 2025. In the comments down below, Let me know which books you're most interested in. Again, a reminder that the written documentation is on our Patreon. And the link to our Patreon is in the description of the video, plus early access to videos and things like that. We are on Spreadshop, where you can get cool stickers and t-shirts with Near Mint Conditions logo and other designs. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Leave those comments down below. Smash that like button on the way out. Whew. Until next month, everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.